Alright, let's get started. Alright, thanks everyone for coming. Really appreciate it. It means a lot. We've got a few important things to talk about today, but if you guys have anything in particular you want to see addressed, feel free to pop a sign off the board and post it up there and we'll talk about it. So you can do that anytime during the meeting, it's fine. It's not a problem. So let's get started. We've got a few topics. Who knows about the new PvP world that's coming up in about a week's time? I made a blog post about this. It's up on the blog if anyone's interested in checking that out. I'll just share that now. So for anyone who hasn't seen that, that's up on the blog. All the details. So we're going to check that out, see how it goes. The great thing is you'll be able to bring things back from there, so we'll see how that goes. And it's good to have that kind of option in the lobby, especially for any new joiners, because as we all know, the Ancient World itself doesn't have like the best PvP options, I guess. I know from experience we've had a lot of new players join looking for just pure PvP, and they can't really find it on our server, and so they leave. So we're just trying to cater to them a little bit, so we can sort of try to keep people playing. Speaking of PvP, we've got a new factions plugin. So basically, we all know that if you type flists, it doesn't work. Among other things, it's a pretty our current faction plugin is pretty buggy at the moment. So we're going to be updating that with a Savage Factions plugin, which is a brand new plugin, and it's consistently updated. So it's always up to date with the latest version, and it's always getting bug fixes. So we're gonna do that, I think, today, I reckon. What do you guys think? Yeah, so what we're going to do is, so after the server meeting, we're going to do a server restart, and we'll change over the plugin. I figure that it's better to do it sooner than later, get it done. So we're going to get this out of the way as quick as we can. So we'll put the plugin in. Everyone will everyone's going to lose their faction, just so you know. So you'll need to get on and create your faction and claim your land again. So before I do a server restart, it would be good if you guys can go to your F home and just be ready to set your new home point. And we're going to have a 2-week no raiding period. So between now and the next server meeting, there's going to be no raiding allowed. Just so we can give people time to get on and claim their stuff back. But hopefully within 2 weeks, everyone will be back, claimed up again, and we shouldn't have any problems, hopefully. So yeah, guys, don't take advantage, please, and no raiding, please, for that period of time. Another faction topic we've got is the peaceful factions. So we had actually, before we continue on, does anyone have any questions about the faction plugin? The migration. Yes, that's what I was about to get to. We're going to still be doing peaceful factions, but I need to be clear on their requirements for that, because we've had problems, because we've had peaceful factions in the past, and a problem that we ran into a few times was let's say two factions are at war with each other. Okay, they're both PvP factions, but one of those factions has a peaceful faction as an ally, and that peaceful faction is supplying them with gear, supplies, all kinds of stuff, and so the other faction says, oh well, that's not fair. That faction they're being helped out by a peaceful faction, and we can't do anything about it. We can't sabotage the supply lines, so to speak, because that faction is peaceful. They're peacefully supplying a war faction. So just to be clear, if anyone wishes to be a peaceful faction, you need to actually be a peaceful faction. So if you're just fond of playing PvE and you like to do your own thing, and you don't really want to PvP or be involved in PvP in any way, then peaceful faction is perfectly viable for you. So if we were to have a shop and a non-peaceful faction were to buy from it, we wouldn't be allowed to be peaceful anymore. Do you mean if you were peaceful and you had a shop and a PvP faction is buying from your shop. No, that's okay. That's fine because anyone can buy from that shop. Like both sides. It's more to do with if you're only supplying one side, like you've actually taken a side in some kind of conflict. So so if you just have a shop at spawn, if you're a peaceful faction and you're selling diamonds, and anyone can buy those diamonds, then it's completely fine. That's okay. The other requirement is you can't raid. So I know some people, you're fond of doing /F list to see who has low power, and then if someone has low power, you can go take some stuff. Obviously, that's not going to be allowed if you're peaceful, for the simple fact that if that person comes back online and knows that you took their stuff, they can't raid you to get their stuff back. Like, because you're peaceful, you're basically untouchable, and you have their things, like you have their valuables, and they have no chance of getting their things back. So basically, you're not allowed to take from people. I think it's a fair rule not to take from others. Oh yeah, AROS, yeah, I was thinking about that too. I'll probably just claim it with your lawyer or something until he can get on. But yeah, there is a grace period, but the fact that his place is right there at spawn, it's more vulnerable to people raiding it. So I'll probably just claim it for him with your lawyer until he can get on. Yep. Yep, that's right, Turtle Sawyer. Yeah. Well, you can still loot abandoned places even during the grace period. Just make sure it's not, you're not raiding someone in, like something that was claimed beforehand. So if it's claimed right now, don't claim it. I mean, don't raid it over the next 2 weeks. If it's still unclaimed in 2 weeks, then go for it. You can go for it. That's fine. Good question, Jake, man. We don't really have the resources to follow every single player and keep up to date with everything, but we're more looking out for if someone logs in and find their things have been stolen or anything like that. That's when we can check up on the logs specifically and see what's been taken. Our logs go back pretty far. They go back over months, so we can always look into that. Yep, that's right. Just tell a mod if you've been raided. Just tell one of the mods about it, and we'll look into that. Your faction base, yes. After the server meeting, after we change the plugin around, all the faction data is going to be wiped. So you're going to have to create your faction again, claim your base, and set your new home point. It's pretty much a full reset. Any other questions, guys, about factions? Alright. Brew recipes. So this was we had a little announcement about this in the Discord, but so basically we've got a whole bunch of brew recipes thanks to Boy 2004 who updated our configuration files from the last age. So if you guys remember, during the last age we had a lot of custom brew recipes. So if you guys go to the codex, anyone who's interested in brewing, excuse me, that's so if you go to this page on the codex and scroll down, you'll find that we've got all these recipes, all these new recipes for you to try out. check some of those out, guys. There's a lot there, holy crap. I'm still scrolling down. Where does it end? There we go. That's a lot. I think there's about 70 all up. 70 new recipes. Ends at coffee. No skooma. No skooma. Alright, so just a quick talk about the darkness. So the darkness is still in beta. So if you guys happen to get a chance to check that out, please do so. But report any bugs. So you can post those in the support section of the Discord, or you can message me directly. Just tell me about the bugs that you found. Once we get that out of beta, it's going to be a good source of resources. We're going to have active rifts. Who's throwing bottles? We're going to have active rifts in that world. So since the ancient world currently is not afflicted with rifts, you know, there's no way really right now to get nether stuff. Like, how do you get blaze rods? How do you get magma creams and all the rest of it? So the way to get all that stuff is going to be through the darkness world, the dungeon world, sorry. So you'll be able to pass through the dungeon, go to the darkness world, and there will be rifts there, and it will be just like playing on an Age of Rifts, and you get to bring back all the good stuff that you find there. So, but that's going to be only possible after we get out of beta. So once we're out of beta, once all the bugs are fixed, we'll have that inventory transfer available. If you die, do you lose your items? It's the same as no, you don't lose faction power. No, there's no factions on the dungeon world. It's a completely separate instance. So, but if you do die, you do drop your items, and you have to go pick them up again. That's all the same. But yeah, there's no factions on the darkness. So yeah, basically, yeah, check that out, guys. If you can, that'd be awesome. Yeah, this is a bit of a big one. So, and it's really good news. We have found a YouTube sponsor. So we've found someone on YouTube who is willing to advertise the Ancient Worlds for us. I'll leave a link to the channel and see what you guys think. This is the channel. So they've offered to give us a spotlight at the beginning of their videos. So we're going to have a 30-second video at the beginning of their video. Of course, such a thing is not free, so we're gonna start a fundraiser so that we can pay for the advertisement fees, because yeah, we've got a lot of fees right now. We've got a lot of server fees and things like that, and it's, we're sort of falling behind a bit at the moment because the whole I'm gonna say the whole Vertigo thing. We kind of dug ourselves a bit of a hole expecting some advertisement, and we prepared for it, and all our server upgrades that we did, everything else, it was all in preparation for an influx of players that never happened. So we're basically sitting in a position where the server is unsustainable in its current state. So we either have to pick up the slack and get some advertisement done, or we have to take a step back with things. And but I really don't want to take a step back, because it was a lot of work getting the server where it is now, with the lobby and the dungeon worlds and everything else. It was a pretty big concept, and I've been putting a lot of hours into it, and I don't want to just give up on it just yet. So, but if we can raise some funds even if we don't reach the total goal, any kind of donation will be really helpful, guys. Help us reach the goals, and yeah, really like to get an advertisement out as soon as possible. Links to the fundraiser will be in the blog post following this server meeting, so all the details will be there. Any questions about fundraisers, the fundraiser, or the YouTube sponsorship? Alright. What happened to Vertigo? Well, I think he, I don't know, it's really hard to say. I think he's just into World of Warcraft at the moment. But he's very frustrated with YouTube right now because they're demonetizing a lot of his videos, and I think he's lost a lot of motivation for his channel. Yeah, YouTube's being really, really shit, and I know exactly what he's going through because I went through the same thing like 10 years ago with my channel, and basically my YouTube channel died. YouTube effectively killed my channel, like they're doing to many more people now, unfortunately. However, why that means he can't come do Minecraft stuff, I don't know, because the content's here. He can do the videos and avoid using copyrighted music, and he'd be fine. He could get some content out. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. But we have to move forward. We have to find a new sponsor, I think is where we're at right now with that, unfortunately. So next sign is lower the general store prices. YouTube Union, yeah, right. Well, the problem is, right, the problem is music, I think. If you use music from a movie or anything like that, your video gets completely demonetized. Yeah. So it's really up to the YouTubers themselves to be responsible, for what they put in their videos. Basically. You either have to buy the rights, or you produce the music yourself, which I think is a really good option if you can create your own music. If you can produce your own music, or if you know someone who can produce the music for you, that's the best way. Yeah, that's right. It's very vague, and YouTube seem to just have their own thing they do, and yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to move away from YouTube for a long time with my dracrotha.info website. So ever since my channel was first demonetized, I've tried to move away from it. Of course, it's very difficult to do that because YouTube is a very big platform. It's got a massive audience on it. So if you want any chance of really reaching anyone, you kind of have to use YouTube. Really now? Yeah. It sucks. Yeah, it's not really a basket, like, how they say don't put all your eggs in one basket. I wouldn't put all my eggs in that basket if I was a YouTuber or whatever. If I had a really big following on YouTube right now with tons of views and all that sort of stuff, I wouldn't be putting all my eggs in that basket. I would be starting a website or something. I'd be trying to move people away as quick as I could. Okay, so the general store prices. So someone's saying the prices are too high. Is that for all the items or a specific item? Is it the wood and the sand and things like that? Yeah, I noticed you were talking about that the other day on the Discord, that the prices for sand was too high. It's $100 for a stack. How much is in 2 bottles? How much is in 2 bottles? That's how much you get for the daily login reward, right? Yeah. I suppose we can drop the price on dirt and sand. We can do that, that's fine. It's only sand, it's not, you know, inconsequential to make that cheaper. And gravel, yeah. Gravel, I reckon too, yeah. We'll add gravel to the store. That shouldn't be a problem. No worries. What else we got here? So, Updog. Yes, the map is out of date. So, Updog map, that's out of date because the software that we used called MC Map has not been updated to 1.14. In fact, it hasn't even been updated to 1.13, so it's just completely out of date. Actually, no, I think it does work for 1.13, but it doesn't work for 1.14. Our alternative is another piece of software called Overviewer, which I've tried to use, which does work, but I've run into some problems with it. In particular, it's very it's much higher detail than MC Map. So when I've been trying to render the ancient world's very big, and it seems to be very it's very intensive to try to render this whole map using Overviewer. It's certainly possible. I'll just need to get another computer to do the work, like a workhorse computer. So I'll be doing that eventually. But the main issue that I've had with it is on Updog itself. So I've already tried this out as like a test. I've put an Overviewer map up on an Updog site, and it doesn't load properly. So you go to the URL and you try to load the map and view it, and it doesn't load properly. So I don't know if Overviewer specifically has an issue with being hosted online. I'm gonna keep trying it, but as soon as I have a viable way to update the map and have it online like that, I'm gonna do it. But it's something I've been working on, and I just haven't had a breakthrough yet with that. I'm sorry about that, guys. It is really annoying when the map's is so outdated. But yeah, that's the news on that. Yeah, so just to summarize it, our map software is not updated, and the new software, the up-to-date software that I want to use, has some problems with the way that we host it on Updog. So as soon as those problems are addressed, we can get an updated map. What age are we on? What age are we on, guys? What age is this? I don't know, guys. What is it? Is it the age of trying to get the server advertised? It's the age of Vertigo. It's the age of no, I don't think so. It was supposed to be Age of Gods, yeah. And I think we have got some good elements. We've got a few new gods. We've got Age of Shops. I would call it Age of Shops if there were more shops. There really aren't that many. We've got Phaley, and we've got the Age of Order. Sorry, the God of Order. My bad. Vastian. Yeah, Necrosius. We actually don't have a codex entry on the new gods yet. Unfortunately, we've been trying to. We really need to get that up. But we do have blog posts about them. So let me just link those for you real quickly. It would be really good if we had that. We've got a few origin stories. So this is the origin story of Vastian, more or less. And here's an origin story of Phaley. But yeah, we still need specific write-ups about these gods. We don't actually have codex entries on them yet, so all the gods. There's a lot of gods. We don't have them all listed, but if you go to the gods section on the codex, so this page here, these are the main ones. These are the main ones that are well known, but there are many more gods that aren't really as well known or documented. Yeah, no worries. We try to put as much as we can up on the codex. Of course, not all of it is there yet, but we've been working hard to get as much info up on there as possible. So yeah, that's the age we're in at the moment. It's actually an age of gods, because you know, we've got light in the world. There are no rifts. There's no, you know, it's kind of peaceful, and that's sort of what an age of gods is kind of about. It's a return of gods, return of worship, and having shrines and things like that. That would be Cold Wave Soul Harvester. Yeah, you can worship any gods, yeah. No, don't reveal it, Cold Wave. Just leave it out in the world. Just leave it out there. Someone will find it one day. You're not looking hard enough, man. Yeah, the last hint was pretty, I think it was pretty obvious, but not everyone knows the history. Okay, so some way to get lingering potions. So what's the ingredient missing for lingering potions? Dragon's Breath. I thought that's available in the vote shop. Yeah, it's in the vote shop, isn't it? 50 voting points. So I think you just get one for 50 vote points, yeah. What's the usual way of them? How do you make those in default Minecraft? Okay. The End Dragon. I see. You know, it would be kind of cool to put like a dragon fight at the end of a dungeon. Like if we made one of those dungeons with a dungeon world at the end, and you go through the dungeon world portal, and it takes you to the end. But like to make it more challenging, you have to actually fight through a dungeon and beat a boss before getting access to the portal. I don't know, just an idea. Because it'd be really cool to give access to some of those other worlds, those other dimensions, but we just need to create some sort of gateway to get there to make it a bit more challenging, just so it's not easy to cheese it, you know? But yeah, currently the only way to get Dragon's Breath is through the vote shop, so... And it's not cheap, so... 8 arrows of harming 2. Who uses crossbows over bows? Are crossbows good? I like them. I prefer them over bows. They're not for PvP. Don't they do more base damage than bows? Isn't there like an enchantment for them that shoots 3 arrows at once? If you shot a player up close with that, would that do 3 times damage? Ah, lame. Be pretty cool, like a shotgun blast, you know, like a close quarters weapon. Yeah. That sounds pretty cool. Nice. We've got one more sign here. So if you guys want to add any more, add any topics, feel free to do so. We can talk about them. What happened to the eggs and the other items that used to be in the general store? Pretty sure was it the last server meeting where we talked about how there was too many items in the general store and we just wanted to have it for like the really basic stuff. For more rare things, we want people to explore the world and find things, and you know, if someone wants to buy rare things or sell rare things, they can do so with their own shops. But we don't want to offer too much in the general store. We just want the bare essentials. It's sort of just a change of mindset, I guess, from the gen store. We don't want to just put everything in it. I know in the last stage we had a ton of stuff, so we're just doing things a little bit differently. Chris wanted me to bring up MCMO skills not being applied in PvP. Oh yeah. Yeah, for those that don't know, MCMMO, all the skills, like say the sword skills or the everything else, none of it works in PvP. So it's a PvE thing only. Well, it's more to do with do the wolves still work? How do you mean? The wolves work. I'm pretty sure pets are pretty broken in 1.14. In general, it's not to do with MCMO. Yeah, they do. Well, they should get buffs, but I don't know actually. I mean, it shouldn't, but it depends on how thorough that plugin is. Because I know for a fact that whoa, damn, holy crap. I'm sure that I mean, what I've done is basically disabled PvP in the MCMMO configuration file, so it should affect all skills and it should affect all functions of the plugin. Yeah, sure. I mean, with the addition of peaceful factions now, but what if we had the MCMO PvP skills transfer over to the PvP server, like the PvP map, so you can use your MCMO skills on the other map. That's a possibility. I'm not saying that's how we're going to do it, but that is a possibility. We can do that, I think. I have to check to make sure that it supports databases. But if I could find a way to get the skills from this server to transfer over to the other one, so that you can grind here, and then you can use your skills over there, that would be ideal. We'll see if I can do that. Add it to the bucket list. Just give me a minute, I'm just writing down some notes. So we got gravel. We want gravel, and in the gen store, we want a price drop. So we'll drop the prices on the general, on the basic stuff. What price do you guys think we should drop that to? Like, say for a stack of sand. $50. Half price. Half price sale. And we want to get we want to see if I can get the MCMMO skills over onto the disorder world. So and have it PvP enabled. So that's what we're gonna see if we can do that. Wood prices should stay high. Alright, wood price is the same. And drop price on cobblestone as well. Can you make a place where we can buy emeralds, since now this is what I might do, okay, just to make things kind of so we don't add too much rare things to the economy. So right now we have a chest at the general store that you can sell emeralds to, right? You can sell emeralds for quartz, not quartz, sorry, for XP. So what I might do is I'll add another chest in the gen store, and all the emeralds that get sold into the gen store, I'll move them into this other chest where you can buy them. So basically you'll be buying emeralds that other people are selling in the gen store. What do you guys think about that? I think that would work pretty well. So we'll call it the emerald buyback scheme or something. Maybe like that. Some terminology there. So emeralds buyback. They're not going to be cheap though, of course, because there's not that many. Because I've checked that chest, and not many people sell their emeralds to that chest. So, but what we might do, maybe we can raise the price on them. You can't mine emeralds. I'm pretty sure you can. The new lands. If you go to the new lands, you can find them there. You'll probably be able to find them on the disorder world. So the disorder world is going to be wiped every month, once a month. So every month, disorder world will get reset, and it will have fresh ores. You can go mining. The point of emeralds? Good question. Portals, right? You can't trade with villagers currently. Villager trades aren't enabled. I think it's mainly the portals, right? You need 2 emerald blocks per portal. And decorations, yeah. Well, I'm sure someone got a lot of emeralds while villager trading was enabled, right? Someone's got a stack of, someone's got a chest full of emeralds somewhere. So there's not a lack of emeralds in the world, that's for sure. It's definitely out there. It's just rare, and you know there's nothing wrong with some things being rare. Yep. Fight raids. I don't know, whatever. You got to get that rare stuff one way or another. Mending books. No, pillagers have been disabled. If you find any pillagers in the world, it's because they all spawned a while ago. But we disabled pillager spawning a while back because they were a huge hog on server performance. If you guys remember the huge amount of lag spikes we were getting, they were contributing to that. That's Minecraft 1.14 for you. It's probably one of the most unstable releases so far. So Cold Wave is bad. Buyback options aren't easily exploitable. Yeah, 1.15 is meant to be. They're changing the rendering system, so it's supposed to fix up a lot of the performance. So we're going to update to 1.15 as soon as we can. Yeah, I agree with that. I think bees are too big as well. They're a bit too comical. What's that? Potions of swiftness. Are you saying that the buyback options are easily exploitable? I see, yeah. So that's easily exploitable, right? You can get a lot of money from that. Well, I'm pretty sure Cold Wave is changing the buybacks today. So hopefully whatever it's changing to today will be balanced. Because we love balance around here. Fishing loot tables? I don't think I took them out. Yeah, the only thing we took out were the villager trading. Yeah. We might I think we should have a double XP weekend, like a double MCMMO XP weekend or something. That'd be cool. Mobs about above ground. Back to what we were saying before about this being an age of gods. So, the gods are here at the moment. So when the gods are here, that means you know, the surface world is mostly cleansed of undead and evil and things like that. So it's sort of part of the theme that the overworld is. Turth. No, I don't think he's a god. He's more like a demon, wouldn't you say? He's like, I mean, I guess he's a god to the Nether, but we're not talking the same god here. We're not talking the god of light, you know, the god above. He is a deity, but he's not. This is not one of his ages. This is not a Turth age or. So, part of the theme of an age of gods are things like the longer days, the land being cleansed of undead. You can still find dead deep underground, but for the most part, the world's been cleansed, and it leaves an opportunity for civilization to rise up and things like that. That's sort of the idea. So that's kind of why we started a new city, and we're trying to kickstart a new civilization and hopefully we can keep going in that direction after we get some server advertisement out and get a lot more people on and grow things. That'd be awesome. Oh yeah, phantoms. Well, we did. Well, Fairly did cleanse them from phantoms, not from phantoms. From Voyager's Wharf. I mean, that's good, isn't it? Yeah. I'm inclined to keep them for now. Only because I think they've been a big part of this update, so just want to keep them for a while longer. Yeah, it is a bit of a nuisance. It's like those cliff races from Morrowind. If anyone played Morrowind, they're exactly the same. Exactly. The first thing you hear is the screech, and then it's exactly the same. I can't believe it. MC MMO fishing XP is really bad. It's really slow, huh? I have to look into that. It's a bit of a grind. Hopefully we can have a double XP event or something. Probably the next time we run an event on the server, like a proper event, we'll probably have double MCMMO XP or something, and that would be a good time to level some of these skills. As for increasing the base XP levels, I like to get more feedback on that before making any changes. Yeah, if fishing is really powerful, then that's something to consider as well. If it's yeah. Damn. It's just like an MMO. I think that's the point of it, though, isn't it? To be a grind, MMO grinding. Yeah, it's not for everyone. But I think if we can have some XP bonus events, that would be really awesome to motivate people to grind, I guess. I mean, I don't like grinding myself, but also just to encourage people to play, to come play on the weekends. We can have some bonus XP on weekends, yeah. Yeah. Of course, definitely, yeah. That's the idea, to get the numbers up on the weekends, especially. But yeah, just keep giving me feedback on the MCMMO stuff, and we'll see what kind of, if we can do any changes eventually. But don't want to make any quick changes today. Yes, the disorder world is 1.8 PvP. Yeah, it should be. Well, apparently 1.8 PvP is preferred by a lot of people. It's still 114, so you still have, you know, crossbows and all the other new things, but it's just got the you know, when you hit people with a sword, it's more of a click spam kind of thing. It's like that. Yeah. Is it really now? Oh. Well, that's the best I can do, because when it comes to transferring inventory across servers, it doesn't work well with an actual 1.8 server crossed with a 114. So if we want inventory transfers, it needs to be a hybrid, unfortunately. What do you guys think about the inventory transfer, though? Because I heard a few people were telling me that it would be too unfair. But then again, if we didn't have the inventory transfer, I think people wouldn't play there if you couldn't bring things back. Yeah, there's a portal in the lobby. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, actually, when you go through the portal to the disorder, the PvP world, you'll be in a safe zone, and then you have to type a command to get put into the wilderness. It's like a yeah, it's like it's got its own lobby within it, so it should be fine. Yeah, I don't think it's specifically 1.8 or 1.9. It's just in that style of combat. So I guess you're gonna have to try it out and see for yourself, because I'm not super like familiar with everything about it, because I'm not a PvPer. So, but if you can give it a shot once it comes out, which is next weekend. Next weekend that's being released, so you can check it out and give us your feedback on that. And of course, please report any bugs. That would be awesome. It's very important that we get those squashed. What happened to TNT block in General Store? Oh yeah. Good question. So, the idea of the TNT thing evolved into the PvP world. So we're not going to do the TNT on the ancient world as originally planned. Instead, we're going to have TNT on the PvP world, and it's going to have its own unique properties. So I don't know if you guys looked at the blog post, but there's a few little details there on what the TNT does. I'll quickly read that out to you. So, enhanced TNT. TNT has a larger explosion radius, and using enough of it has the ability to blast through obsidian, and TNT cannons will be allowed as well. This is on the PvP world. So that's what's happened. That's what happened to the TNT block in the general store. It's now just going to be on the PvP world. If that answers that question. Any questions about the TNT? No, there's not. No bunker buster. At least for the time being. I want to see it in action on the other world first. So we'll see how things go on the PvP world, and naturally if we see things on the PvP world that we think looks really cool and we want to have that over here, we can migrate things over. It's not a problem. Can you make TNT destroy water blocks? I don't think that's a feature of of the enhanced TNT. It's just the obsidian. And I think it's set to 3. So if you have 3 consecutive TNT explode next to an obsidian, it will break it. So you need to hit the same spot 3 times to break it. That's the way it's set currently, and we'll configure things based on feedback. I'm sure you guys will work it out. You guys are pretty crafty. And I'm willing to make changes on that world, because on that particular world it doesn't affect everyone over here so much. So I'm a lot more willing to make changes, buff things, do whatever to make the PvP more interesting. And it's not gonna spill over onto other players over here, I don't think, so it's pretty safe. I think that's all the signs that we've got for today. So just to remind you guys, we're gonna do right after the server meeting, we're gonna start changing up the factions plugins. So once we conclude, if you guys could return to your F homes, and we'll do a server restart, implement the new plugin. How much time do you have? I'll announce it. Let's say 1 hour. So what time is it now? It's 6 PM EST. So at about 7 PM, we'll flip it over, and yeah. So create your faction, make your claims, all that stuff, and we'll get this going. And we've got to get this out of the way. So it's been a long time coming. If anyone has any other questions for the meeting, I think we covered a lot of good stuff. So just to recap some of the changes that are coming. So we're going to do price drop in the general store. We're going to add gravel to the general store as well. We're going to try and see about having MCMMO PvP on the Disorder world. We're going to do emerald buybacks at the general store. So any emeralds that get sold into the general store will be sold back to the players. So based on supply and demand. So if no one's selling emeralds, there won't be emeralds. It's going to be based on if people are selling them. And we're gonna look at having double XP weekends, so that's going to be coming up soon. We also have a fundraiser, so please check that out up on the blog later today when I post the update video from this meeting. We're going to have a fundraiser and try and get some YouTube sponsorship going, so we can get some new blood on the server. So thanks everyone for coming. We're going to conclude the meeting there. Awesome. What's this? Imposter. It's not even the same shade of yellow. Obvious imposter.